guys, Nick here. I haven't said that in the past, like, almost 2 years. I'm back with another video. It's been a while. Just first and foremost, I just want to say kind of where I've been. Life in school really just kind of got in the way of me making consistent videos. A lot of just life stuff really got in the way. That's all done now. Finished high school. I write for a hockey website, which is awesome. And now I'm back making YouTube videos about the sport I love, hockey. Once again, videos will be consistent again, with this summer. So I'm really excited about that. Most videos will actually be uploaded at night. There'll be some days I do upload them during the day, like this video. But yeah, let's get into today's topic. Enough about me. Let's get into it. While everyone's talking about last night's Game 3, I want to talk to you about a kind of a different topic. Patrick Roy. Bro just won the Memorial Cup, the Quebec Ramparts, and he wants to get back into NHL coaching. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about Patrick Roy and just looking through his interview he gave with NHL.com, talking about some of his career highlights, and talking about him and how he feels about possible coaching opportunities in the NHL this upcoming season. So for those who don't remember, in August of 2016, Patty Roy announced his resignation from the Colorado Avalanche as the head coach and president of hockey operations, claiming that his, I guess, goals and things like that didn't really mesh with the views that Joe Sakic had at the time. So after that all went down with Colorado, he did step out of the spotlight for a few seasons before returning to coaching in the 2018-19 season with the Quebec Ramparts. For those who also don't know, he did spend 8 seasons, I believe, coaching the Ramparts before he went to Colorado to coach them. Now, Roy has basically come out and said that he really regrets how he left Colorado. He said it's a decision that's kind of haunted him still to this day, just of how he abruptly left. Keep in mind, this is Patrick Roy we're talking about. This is the same guy who famously told the president of the Montreal Canadiens in 1995 that he was done playing with them after not getting pulled until allowing, I think, God, it was like 8 or 9 goals, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so he lets his frustrations be known and he takes actions. You know, he doesn't take things going his way lightly, and obviously he did that with Colorado when he wasn't really getting his own way with Joe Sakic, and of course, you know, he has a habit of doing these things, of taking things that he doesn't agree with and not taking them lightly. Of course, as we all know, the famous exit of the Montreal Canadiens led to his trade to Colorado, of course, a few days later, which obviously a massive trade at the time, and one that still haunts Habs fans to this day, and I don't blame them at all, because that must suck. Losing your best goaltender, basically saying, I'm not playing for your team anymore. So yeah, like I said, basically that emotion, that same emotion that he had in 1995, obviously played a factor of him leaving the Avalanche in 2016. So on June 4th, Patrick Roy announced that he would not be returning to the Quebec Ramparts for next season, that he was done coaching them, and on that same day, he won Quebec their first Memorial Cup since 2006. Fun fact, that was also 27 years ago that week, was when Patrick Roy won the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche in 1996. That same week, he got a shutout in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final to sweep Florida and win the Stanley Cup. Patrick Roy did also say that if the phone rings for a head coaching job in the NHL, he's not going to let money really get in the way of his decision or not. So in the 2005-06 season, Patrick Roy started head coaching the Quebec Ramparts for the first time. He spent 8 seasons as their head coach, GM, and part of their ownership group until May of 2013. He announced that he was joining the Colorado Avalanche. He actually won them the Central Division in their first season. He won Coach of the Year and got the Avalanche their second ever Central Division title. Then in the playoffs that year, Colorado was upset by the Minnesota Wild in 7 games. Unfortunately, Patrick Roy failed to make the playoffs the next 2 seasons, and then Patrick Roy announced his resignation in 2016. Roy finished with a 130-92-24 record in his time with Colorado. One thing that really did strike me as interesting in this article was when Patrick Roy talked about a conversation that he had with the Rangers coach at the time, Alain Vigneault, where basically Vigneault said to Roy, like, listen, there's 30 teams, because keep in mind there was 30 teams at this time. Listen, there's 30 teams in the NHL. Coaching in this league is basically a privilege that you can't take for granted. I felt like that really leaves an impact with people when someone says that, and obviously that did have an impact on Patrick Roy, which I'm glad someone said that to him, and I think that really awoken Patrick Roy when he was told that. Patrick Roy did also talk more about the lovely overtime win in 1996 to win them the Stanley Cup. Of course, in this game, Patrick Roy had 63 saves. Florida's goaltender, not even going to try to pronounce his name, made 56 saves. I think it's like John Vandersbuck or something like that. I don't know. I'm too young to remember his name. He made 56 saves, and it was actually the first time since 1953 that the NHL season ended with a 1-0 game. Of course, in that game, Elmer Latch, however you pronounce his name, once again, too young to remember, scored, I believe, just over a minute in to overtime on Jim Henry for the Bruins. One thing that I also found interesting in this article is that, I actually didn't know this, the second period of overtime in 1996 in that game 4, Roy actually faced 18 shots, which I don't know if it's still the record for most shots in an overtime playoff period, but either way, that's pretty impressive. Shipping 18 shots in double overtime, that's a lot of work. Of course, this was Patrick Roy's third of 4 Stanley Cup victories that he had in his career. Of course, he won in 1986, in which he was the MVP. He won in 1993 with Montreal, again, which he was also named MVP. Of course, he won in 96 with Colorado, and then he ended up winning in 2001 with Colorado again, in which he was also named MVP. Of course, for those who don't remember, Patrick Roy is a 3-time Vezina winning trophy goaltender, widely considered one of, if not the best, arguably the best goaltender in NHL history. Those championship seasons, man, he was so good. He was so talented. I'm pretty sure he had a save percentage above .920 in all 4 of his championship seasons. I'm pretty sure he went like 62-22 in those 4 playoff runs. I could be wrong on that. I'll check that. He was so good. Like I said, arguably the best goalie of all time. His talent, his athleticism, just so good. One thing I also find interesting is how he mentioned that his first Stanley Cup run was probably one of like his most memorable, mainly due to the leadership group. Of course, Bill Gainey was the captain. They had Larry Robinson on defense. And he really gave credit to the leadership group of that team, which especially Gainey and Robertson. So, on the Montreal Canadiens' 24th and most recent championship in 1993, for those who don't remember, Montreal was actually down 2-0 in the first round to the Quebec Nordiques. And ever since they were down 2-0, Montreal went 16-2 en route to the 24th, obviously, championship in 1993, including winning 10 consecutive overtime games. For those who don't remember, Patrick Waugh actually finished the regular season of 1993 1-7, including losing the last 5 games. He was really low on himself. His confidence wasn't that good. Especially after that, he dropped the first 2 games against Quebec as well. He actually said that after that game 2, before game 3, Jacques Demers called Patrick Waugh into his office, basically said, look, you're a man, we're going to live or die with you, and basically just trying to get his confidence up, basically said, we're rocking with you this whole playoffs. You basically determine if we're going to win the cup or not. And he got his confidence back from that. He won the next 4 straight games. He eliminated Quebec. Swept. I completely forget who they're playing right now. It'll be down here. In the second round. Then conference finals in 5 games. Beat LA in 5 games. Won the Stanley Cup. Another thing that I loved is how, talking about the 2001 Stanley Cup, Patrick Waugh pretty much said it was all about Ray Bourque, which I thought was awesome, how the team really just rallied around Raymond Bourque. It just put their full effort just to get Ray Bourque his first Stanley Cup, which I thought that was great. I love stories like that, and that made me smile. I love it. Patrick Waugh is set to head to the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League draft. 14 rounds is taking place in Sherbrooke. He said that he doesn't know if he's going to stay as GM or not, and that is yet to be determined. He also mentioned in the article he's still exhausted from British Columbia, where the Memorial Cup is taking place. He hasn't really had time to celebrate. He's just been exhausted, and yeah, I really don't blame him. The last thing he did really mention is that even though he has been focused with the Memorial Cup, obviously winning and everything, he has still watched the Stanley Cup Finals. Of course, last night Florida won in overtime, thanks to a goal from Carter Verhaeghe, and Vegas now leads the series 2-1, with Game 4 set to take place on Saturday in Sunrise. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys in my first video back. Sorry if it's a little weird. I'm still trying to get my footing back, so I apologize on that if I sounded weird at times. But yeah, I'm back. I'll be back consistently, don't worry. And even just recording this video, it feels good to be back. Love you all. If you like this video, make sure to hit like. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button for more hockey content. Make sure to follow me on my social medias in the description below. Follow Inside the Rink, great hockey website that I write for, make Penguins content for, and I'll pitch in for other teams if needed. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm Nick. Love y'all. Be nice, be kind. And yeah, have a great day, y'all. See ya.